Kevin said that we really needed to turn on the light bulb. So Kevin, I just gave you a light bulb. Well, I hope everybody that was on the call was on early tonight. We actually been having some fun on the call, and I thank you for hosting the call for us tonight. Man, I can't wait to get up to the New York area to get a chance to meet you personally. I will pretty much assure you that I'm waiting until all that cold weather and that snow goes away. So I can pretty much bet on that. Well, again, I want to welcome everyone to the call tonight. In my opinion, tonight could be a turning point in everyone's business tonight. You know, you can see the little phrase I've got across the bottom of the screen here. It says, treat it like a business and it will pay you like a business. So I want to ask all of you tonight to literally look down deep into your soul tonight and ask yourself, number one question, do you really want to own your own business? And if you answer yes, then I'm going to give you just a few seconds before we get into this to get a notepad and take some notes tonight, because you're going to want to take some notes tonight. We're going to talk about one simple thing, how simple of a business model that we really have. You know, when you involve technology and you get a lot of moving parts, and you start talking about, and I'm kind of happy today that we're going to reach 2,800 merchant partners tomorrow. That's how fast we have new merchant partners coming in. And the exciting thing about it is that we've got new people that are approaching us to put products in our MNO product part. And I can remember, you know, over a year ago having conversations with Kevin and Tony about the day will come. The day will come when people will seek us out. And guess what? That day is here, and that's exciting. You have to keep in mind that we not only talk about this business model that we've created, this hybrid, if you would, that ability to be able to take a network marketing structure and marry that with an affiliate marketing structure and come up with this hybrid that we call MyNetworkOne. Our business model is truly so simple that I want to make sure that we're not trying to complicate it. Just because we have a lot of cool gadgets and we have the cashback finder and that we have almost now 2,800 merchant partners and we have MNO products, because our business model is so simple, we give away free savings memberships, number one. That is what we do. Number two is buy from yourself. To be truthful tonight, we are forgetting about that part of our business. Buying from yourself. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later in this call tonight. The number three thing is simply to create executives in your organization. If you create executives in your organization and you teach those executives to create executives in your organization, you know what? You're going to be a diamond. You're going to reach the very top level in this business. Now, what is the secret formula for reaching the top level in this business? Recruiting and selling 3 My One Stop Agent packages, done deal. That's it. If you teach everyone in your organization to do that, you will be a diamond. You cannot help but not get there. It's that simple. So when we go from creating executives, basically all that you have to do is to duplicate that process with other people. We've all heard that little phrase, it's so simple, a caveman can do it. And yes, Kevin, that's what he said to me last night. Kevin and I were talking to the wee hours last night. And he said, Rod, this is so simple a caveman can do it. But there's one thing missing. It is so simple that a caveman can do it with the right people. And the right people is going to be the focus of our call tonight. And before I really get started, I want to thank someone. I want to thank Carl Felstein for really giving us the opportunity. And you all, I can't wait till our first major event when you actually get a chance to meet Carl and Pat. They live out in Los Angeles. Carl has been the driving force financially behind MyNetworkOne. And it wasn't about Carl actually turning MyNetworkOne into this major profit center for him. He was so dedicated to being able to help people change their lives, to be able to give them the opportunity. Because see, that's really all that we can do. All that we can really do is give people the opportunity. But tonight, I really want to talk to you about how to run your business. Now, we see this slide in every single one of the business opportunity presentations that we do, but I'm not so sure that we really take it to heart. See, if you're working in a normal business structure, you've got to go out there and you have to excel. You have to do something special to get into a management position. And if you're like me, there have been many times through my career where maybe we thought, you know what, I should be the manager. There's been a lot of times that I see people in business that they're really doing more than the manager, but the manager happened to be in the right place at the right time. Well, in our structure, everyone starts out being a manager of their own business. And that should give you a tremendous sense of pride, because that's what we talk about, that ease of entry. And in normal business, sometimes you might be apprehensive to hire someone that has more talent than yourself. Now, I can remember one time, it's been a while, man, it's been back like 25 years, that I didn't get a job that I thought I should have gotten. And I talked to the guy some years later, and he basically told me, he said, look, I can tell you why you didn't get it. Because at that time, you were more qualified than I was. And I was afraid of the competition. But you know, since that time, I've learned a lesson. That I could have been much better at my job if I would have surrounded people that had talent, that had, in some cases, more talent than I did. Now, I necessarily did not think that I was more talented than that particular person, but I wasn't going for his job. I was going for a management job that would have been managed underneath him. So what I'm trying to tell you is that in this business opportunity, you have complete control of your future and your ability to move through the ranks and excel yourself as high as you want to inside of this company. Again, by doing one simple thing, surround yourself with talent. Not only are you going to earn from their efforts, but you're going to advance from their efforts. But surrounding yourself with the right people. Now, here's where it's going to get maybe a little sticky for some of you. And if I step on your toes tonight, I'm going to apologize for that up front, but I'm not going to apologize for it for too long, because I think that some of us need this tonight. I know that there's times in my career that I needed that, and only my true friends and the people who really loved me and cared about me were willing to set me down and let me know that I was getting off base. I wasn't going in the correct direction. So what I want you to understand tonight, it's not about the people, it's about the right people. And tonight we're going to use a little demonstration of a bus. And so Sharon and Cindy here is at the bus stop, and there's two different types of people that are going to be on our bus. They're going to be people that are free members, and they're going to be people on our bus that are MyNetworkOne agents. So the question is, do you have the right people on your bus? Because you see in this illustration, what we've got here right now is we have a double-decker bus. On the top floor of our bus, there are literally thousands of seats. That's why I put this little 1,000 number in here. It's almost like capacity at the top of the bus is like 1,000 people or more. This bus is expandable, and it can hold as many free savings memberships as you want to put on your bus. There are no limitations here, but make sure that you are putting the right people in the right seats. Now, the bottom of your bus, there's not as many seats there, and these are for your MyNetworkOne agents, because you want them, see, you're the driver of the bus, and you want these people close to you. You want them close to you so that they can get your support, they can feel your love, and that you can, in some ways, be coachable. You can be there to be accountable for them, and you can hold them accountable.
Rod, can you hear me?
No, I'm sorry, I had myself on mute. I was clearing my throat, I'm sorry. What I was saying is that everyone that you talk to cannot be an agent. If you try to take everyone and make an agent out of them, you're going to have a business that you cannot manage. And when I use the word manage, I kind of use it in a way that if you have the right people, you don't have to manage them. So the question becomes, what does this right person look like? The first thing that they have to be is they have to be committed to the cause. Now, a lot of you have set in on my Fishers of Men training program, where we literally talked about the greatest networker of all time. And when he went out, he did not look for people that had the most talent in some cases, but he looked for people that was committed to the cause. And we kind of joke around about it, but this greatest networker of all time, he only recruited 12 people. But those 12 people were committed to the cause. So when you sit down and you start looking for the right people, you need to know what you are looking for. Because if you don't know what you're looking for, there's that old saying that, I've heard it in this industry so many times, is I'm just going to sign up everybody that I can and I'm going to throw them up against the wall and see who sticks. See, that to me, that's a bad business plan. You want to look for people that have a very high work ethic. Now, some of you tonight need to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, are you committed to the cause? Do you have the work ethic that it's going to take to make yourself successful? Because we're going to give you every single thing that you need to be successful in this business. I'm making a promise to you tonight that as we move forward, we're going to hire the right people. The people that are dedicated to the cause, the people that are willing to lock arms with you and work beside you and do whatever that it takes. People that have resolve. The question is, are you willing to do whatever it takes? Now, you may be saying, wow, Rod, that's kind of getting tough, but you know what? We're going to do something different. MyNetworkOne, as we talked about since the very beginning, is we don't want to look like every other network marketing company out there. We don't want to just put people in there and see who sticks, because you see, every single person that fails goes out there and lays blame somewhere. And where do you think the highest percentage of the blame gets laid. It was my sponsor's fault. It was the company's fault. It was the pay plan's fault. We don't need that type of publicity. You don't need that type of publicity. Kevin can remember, Tony can remember, Carl can remember that when we started this company, I said, what we want to do is we want to change the numbers. We don't want to have 5% of the people who succeed and 95% of the people who fail. That's why we don't look like those other network marketing companies. That's why we've combined the network marketing and the affiliate marketing together. That's why we have a piece of online real estate that's adaptable to the marketplace. That's why we have 2,500 merchant partners instead of just a couple of product lines. That's why we have millions of products. That's why we always talk about the best prices. We always talk about saving people time and saving people money. Those are the things that make us different. Now, the right people, they do not need to be motivated. They are self-motivated. If you feel like you've got to bring someone into your business and you have to constantly keep motivating them, let me share something with you. They are not the right person for your business. The right person doesn't need to be managed because they are managers. They're going to manage their own business. And that means if you've got to manage them, then you're going to have to manage their people. And you're going to have a constant struggle trying to push this clog or this wheel up the hill. It's going to be tough. The right people are disciplined. They are coachable, and they're very much inspired. And what inspires them? Inspires them is having a servant's heart. What gets me inspired is being able to help agents and knowing that right off the bat that I cannot do this by myself. This business will never be any better than the agents that are in it. You know, I was thinking about this, putting this program together today, and I thought, you know, the last few webinars that I've done, I used to end up every single webinar by saying the number one asset in this company is our agents. Every webinar was ended up that way. Lately, I haven't been saying that, and I want to apologize to all of you for that. Because you are the most important part of this company. You are our number one asset. We will never be better than what you are. Never. And we can't do this just from corporate. There's a quote here that says, if you have the wrong people, it doesn't matter if you have the right direction because you will not get there without the right people. The guy who said this is Jim Collins, and he wrote a book that's called Good to Great. And Carl Feldstein shared this book with me about a week ago. And this book is not only going to change my life personally, but it's going to change the way this company looks and the way that we move forward. And if you've not read this book, I encourage you to get on Amazon.com tonight and get it and read it. Now, if you're not a big reader like me, and that's what's so great about Carl, is he knew that I'm not a big reader. So he bought me the Audible book. So I can sit there with my iPad and I have Jim Collins actually narrating and reading me that book. And it is inspiring. And so I encourage you, good to great. It will have an impact on your life. Now, there's another thing that he talks about in this book, and it's called The Window and the Mirror. Now, I found this picture on Google tonight, and I thought, you know what? I love that picture. Because I've got a little tabby cat like that in our house, and you know what? We also have two 85-pound golden retrievers, and that little tabby cat, he looks in the mirror, and guess what he sees? He sees that he is the lion, because he rules in this house. He weighs probably 1/20th of what those dogs weigh, but he rules because he's not afraid of them. He'll stand in a doorway and the dogs will walk the other way. Because when he looks in the mirror, he sees a lion. The question is, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? Now, there's something to do with this right people, wrong people, and Jim's philosophy of the window and the mirror. Because the wrong people look out the window to blame others when something goes wrong. When the right people look in the mirror and start with ourselves. I can tell you right now that any mistakes that this company makes fall on me. Doesn't matter who makes them inside the company, it's my responsibility. And the buck stops here at my desk. And it will always do that. I don't have to look too far outside of my desk to find a mirror, because trust me, I'm just like anyone else. Every once in a while I need to look in that mirror and I need to ask myself, what's wrong with you today? Now, the window and the mirror thing goes a little bit further than that, because the wrong people look in the mirror when things go right and success is bountiful. Now, what I mean by that, if your business is trucking along real good and you want to see who's responsible for it, well, let me tell you what. The wrong people go in the mirror and stick their chest out and go, I am good, I am great, and I'm the reason that my business is doing so well. Let me tell you what. Those type of people that do that, they may have spurts in their business, but guess what? It isn't going to last. I see so many of those people in this industry. And what they do is they jump from company to company to company because they can't stay in one place. And you guys know who I'm talking about. You know those people. And the sad part about it is those people will get other people to follow them. And that's a disservice. Because in those cases, all they want to do is go out and sign up people all over again. And as soon as they run their cycle, they'll go jump in another business and go, okay, now I'm going to sign them all up again. Now, the right people look out the window and give credit to the team when things are going great. The one thing that I want you to keep in mind is this statement, is the who comes before the what or the where. We've been talking about the adaptability of this company since day one. The adaptability starts with that piece of online real estate, as we said earlier tonight. Because if the marketplace changes and things change that are out of our control, if we have the right people on our bus, we can go in any direction that we need and we will never hit a bump. Think about that for a minute. Because we're talking about your future. We've all been presented here especially over the last couple of months with multiple network marketing companies going out of business. I'm not happy about that. A lot of people might look at that and go, man, that's cool. That's more people that might be coming to us. But you know what? Anytime that a network marketing company goes out of business, it's bad for the industry in a whole. And I feel sorry for the people that were on that, in that program, because they probably didn't do anything wrong in most cases. So we never want to be talking about that. We never want to talk bad about another network marketing company or anybody. It doesn't prove anything. What proves things is how you perform. And the things that we want to encourage you to do is to keep it simple. Talk to everyone. We say this all the time. How many people do you know that is interested in saving money? And that list is literally everyone. But that list, just because it's everyone, doesn't mean that everyone has the potential to be an agent. I encourage you to interview your prospects. Act like you were hiring them to work for you. Not that you were going to make $80 off of them if they decide to come into your business because they're going to pay you, but act like that you had to write them a check for $239 if you were going to bring them on your business. Stop and ask yourself, how many people can you develop and encourage at one time. And then stick with that number. Ask the right questions. Think about the list that we started with. Were they dedicated? Are they willing to do whatever it takes? And so I encourage you not to settle for just saying, well, I made $80 fast start, because I can tell you there are other people on this call tonight that can tell you that the $80 isn't worth it. If you have to babysit them and they're complaining about anything and everything instead of looking at the positives, then they will suck all of the energy out of you. And you'll get to the point when when they call you, when you look down at your phone and go, I don't want to talk to that person. And we all have to admit it, we've all been there. I've been on the phone with some of you when one of those persons was calling him and you're going, oh my gosh, it's such and such again. I don't want to talk to him. Well, guess what? That's the wrong person on your bus. And it takes a lot of effort from you. There's the old saying, work smart, not hard. But what happens when you work smart and hard? That's how you go from good to great. During this interview process, decide what level of your bus that they need to be on. Do they need to be in the top with all the free savings members? Or do you want to put them close to you and put them in your agent level of your bus? As the little diagram says next to it, says anyone can drive a car. It takes someone special to drive a bus. You know, I thought about that later this evening, thinking back about my father that died when I was 20 years old. My father was a pastor. My father worked on the railroad, and my father drove a bus, all at the same time. And that statement really made me stop and think about the things that he instilled in us at a young age. And what I'm trying to get to you is this whole night tonight is about helping you excel your business. Now, we're going to shift gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about problems. We're going to talk about solutions. I'm going to make a commitment to you tonight. I love this little saying here. Good management is the art of making problems so interesting and their solutions so constructive that everyone wants to get to work and deal with them. Think about that. Now, you may think that I'm talking about problems inside of our business, but I'm not. I'm thinking about MyNetworkOne products. Every single product that we will be bringing online, the ones that we have currently and the ones that we'll be looking at in 2015 and in 2016, will all be products that we deem the solution to a problem that exists. Because see, if you are able to bring products on board that solve, or products on board that solve problems, you don't have to sell them. You just have to share them and expose them. So let's talk about the MyNetworkOne marketplace. The marketplace is a solution to a lot of problems that sometimes people don't even know that they have. If you've ever written or read anything about Steve Jobs or watched the movie Steve Jobs, if you haven't, I encourage you to do that. You can get it on Netflix. You can buy it. You know, it's been out a long time, so it's not a lot of money. There's an amazing story there, and it's something that every day I think about. And what Steve Jobs said is that he built Apple Computer by not listening to the customers. Now, the first time I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh. How could this guy be a leader if he doesn't listen to the customers? Because what he said was the customers do not know what they want because it hasn't been invented yet. Now stop and think about that. We have something brand new that's called referral cash. It's new because we've introduced it to the internet. There's been referral money. Car dealers have been doing bird dog fees for years and years, but we are now introducing something to the internet that hasn't been done yet, and it's called referral cash. So there's a lot of customers out there, a lot of members out there, potential members for us, that don't know they want it because they don't know that it's available. And I'm not real sure that we would have been sitting here and we would have gotten all of these emails or correspondence from the general public that would have said, hey, build a marketplace that has referral cash because that's what we want. I can assure you they never really even considered it. So the marketplace is one thing to what we're talking about is solving problems. I read an article that talked about Walgreens. And Walgreens, whether you know it or not, is one of the most successful business stories of all time. In their 15-year run, they turned a profit 18 times more than the average New York Stock Exchange company did. 18 times the average. And they did it because they concentrated on one thing. And you might say, well, yeah, they concentrated on drugs. That's not what it was. You have to keep in mind that Walgreens at one time actually was in the restaurant business. In some of the Walgreens stores, they even had small restaurants, little, like little long bars and stuff in there where people could order ice creams and stuff like that. Walgreens made a change to do one thing. It was all about convenience, and that was their goal. When you used to walk into their boardrooms, that's what was written on the boards, was convenience. I read a thing that said in a 1 square mile area in San Francisco, California, there were 9 Walgreens. Now, how many CEOs would have been brave enough to do that? Think about it. Here in Florida, it's almost a joke. Because every time you see a corner lot being torn down, you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be a Walgreens or it's going to be a CVS. But Walgreens was all about convenience. So the marketplace becomes about convenience. Do the people want to save time? Absolutely. One place to go for everything that you need to do. Think about how many times you've surfed around the internet looking for a product or looking for a savings or looking for a promo code or searching for a deal. Do people want to save money? We've already answered that question. Do they want to get cash back if it's available? Who doesn't? Do they want to earn referral cash for sharing? Yes, they do. But the question is, do they know that referral cash is available? Now, what if you owned a pizza store? Now, Kevin's already heard this because I asked him these questions last night. So I want you to put your pizza hat on right now. And I want you to think about owning a pizza store. If you came home one night and you said, wow, honey, I'm really hungry. Let's order a pizza. Would you order it from your store or would you order it from your competition? Now let's make believe that you're a plumber and you've been working all day and you get home and your pipe's back up. You've got a water leak. Would you call your own plumbing company or would you call someone else? And what if you owned a car dealership and you needed to buy a car or a truck? Would you buy it from your own car dealership or would you buy it from someone else? The reason that I ask these questions is you do own your own marketplace. So why would you not buy from yourself? Why would you get in the car and drive down to Walmart and buy from Walmart where you don't get cash back and you got to stand in line and you got to burn gas to get it, instead of taking the time to go in your own marketplace and buy from yourself? If you will change this mindset, you will start to have amazing results in your business. But this is where you got to go look in the mirror and you've got to ask yourself, am I willing to make those changes? You hear Kevin say all the time, be a product of the product. Are you willing to buy from yourself? Now, for some of us, changing those buying habits is going to be difficult, so start out easy. Again, I've been posting things saying, look, if you've got a shopping list and it's got 12 items on it, try to find 2 or 3 that you can literally buy from your own marketplace. In a few months, you'll find out that it becomes more of a habit, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I had a whole shopping list here of 8 items, and guess what? I never had to leave the comfort of my own home. I know a lot of people up north that's been out there battling this winter, you know, could be like, man, I could have been buying stuff and had it delivered into my home instead of getting out in this sub-below zero weather. Let's talk about some of our products real quick. I'm not sure we're going to make it all the way through all of them because it's already 9:36. Let's talk about MyNetworkOne Travel. You know, when I started doing research on travel, the thing that started to pop up was stress. People need to take a vacation. That's what a vacation's actually for. Is it not? It's to get away from work. It's to get away from the things that stress you out on a normal basis. So the question was, and what I started to find out was that a lot of these doctors were talking about, look, you know what? Take more frequent vacations, not long vacations. It's the best thing for stress reduction. Getting away from work or a routine at home is a tried and true remedy for stress relief and mental rejuvenation. Take shorter trips throughout the year instead of only one long vacation. Sprinkle spontaneous weekend getaways into the schedule. See, that's a problem that's out there. The solution, our Take 2 night and our Take 3 night. A Take 2 night sells for $129 and a Take 3 night sells for $169. Now, we've heard your feedback. Your feedback is that, well, I'm looking at the travel site and I'm not really sure where I'm going to go. Well, let me solve something. Let me make sure that I bring this out correctly for you guys. You've got to buy the pass to get to look at the inventory. Okay? These people sell millions of these Take 2 and Take 3 night programs. And last week I spent probably about 45 minutes with the vice president of this company trying to get him to change to see things that, oh, well, we need to look to see exactly which hotels are in that Take 2 night, exactly which ones are in the Take 3 night. And he said, look, Rod, we're not changing a proven system. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a video to insert into our MNO travel site that's going to tell people exactly how the process works. You buy a Take 2 night vacation, you get an email with a certification code in it. That certification code will allow you to do 2 things. Click on it and actually go in to over the 40 destinations. And each destination has multiple hotel accommodations. So you get to choose and pick the one you want. So we did a little test here. We went in and we looked for 2 nights at Daytona Beach. All of them booked June 1st coming in and leaving on June 3rd, the morning of June 3rd. 2 nights, Daytona Beach, the same hotel, Holiday Inn and Suites on the ocean. Now the thing that I found most comical in this was it says, congratulations, you're getting the lowest price for our hotels. We guarantee it, and that came from Holiday Inn. And then when I started to actually get further into this checkout process, this box over here popped up again. And it says best price guarantee or your first night is free. Well, guess what? We're going to get the bus, we're going to load it up with a whole bunch of people, and we're going to go down there, and they're going to be giving all of us the first night free. Because here's what we found. Our Take 2 night at the same hotel was $129, $18.22 in tax for the room, for a total of $147.22, which is a savings of $216.78. Problem, solution, M&O travel. Let's talk about buying a timeshare. This got really interesting. I've talked to a couple of you agents about timeshares. The pros and cons. The average annual maintenance fee for a timeshare is $660 a year, according to the president of the American Resort Development Association. $660. Now, people had to buy the timeshare up front, correct? And I've talked to people in our own group that says I paid anywhere from $8,000 to $17,000 for that timeshare. Now, one of the other downsides is timeshares are hard to sell, and used timeshare units are sold at steep discounts because there are so many of them on the marketplace. Now, I lived through this because my in-laws had a timeshare. They're getting up in their age, and they were afraid that something may happen to them, and that timeshare would be willed to us, the children. And guess what? We couldn't get out of it. Their maintenance fees was almost $1,300 a year for a one-week stay at their resort. The solution? An 8-day, 7-night timeshare pass that you buy for $69, that you can get a studio apartment for $279 for 8 days and 7 nights. You can get a 1-bedroom for $359. You can get a 2-bedroom for $379 and take up to 6 people. Compared to the $660 in maintenance fees, that is a great solution. Now, I knew that many of you might be thinking, well, is this really true? Are these timeshares really that soft? So I encourage you tonight to go to ebay.com and type in timeshare in the search bar and look at what you will find. These are timeshares that sold at one time anywhere between $5,000 and $15,000 that they're selling on eBay anywhere from $1 to $5. Why? Because they want to get out of the maintenance fees. Now, the funny thing that got me with this is look at the bids. One person bid. Now, they didn't even bid $5 because it would have already been sold. This one has 0 bids. This one has 0 bids. There are thousands of these online. So guess what? There is definitely a problem out there in the vacation area. I even found a site that says the right way to get rid of your timeshare. There's a company out there that basically charges you $1,500 to sell your timeshare for a loss. That's crazy. The smart choice is our timeshare pass. The 8 days and 7 nights for $69, and you guys make $25 off that sale. We're going to change the way timeshare business is done. Now, MyNetworkOne TV, I'm going to hustle through these last ones, so give me about 5 minutes. MNO TV OmniBox. The question that you need to ask yourself, do you believe that a smart TV is in the future for all of our homes over the next few years? And I think that answer is probably yes. But the problem is, can everyone afford to buy a smart TV today? And I think not. And is high cable cost a problem? I've talked to people that their cable cost is like crazy. I mean, I've talked to people that are paying anywhere from $99 a month to people that are paying $169 to close to $200 a month. Now, they do have their internet bundled in there. Now, you can go buy an OmniBox from omniboxtv.com, and James, man, I know you know this like inside and out. You pay $169 from OmniBox. The solution is turn your existing TV into a smart TV with OmniBox, cut the high cost of cable with packages starting at $19.95 a month. Buy the OmniBox from the M&O Marketplace and you will pay $119 for it. Now, there is a $24.95 activation fee, but that's still less than spending $169 from OmniBox. The TaxBot. Again, a major problem with small business owners. They lose receipts. They don't do a very good job of tracking their expenses. If you will go show them the tax bot, it sells for $9.95 a month, and you make a $3 commission on it. You're not going to get rich over that, but if you sell 3 or 4 of them a month, by the time the year or 2 years is up, you'll be like, wow, you know what, this is, and it's the easiest sell in the world. And you don't have to worry about someone beating your price, because let's go to taxbot.com, and guess what? If you buy it from them, it's $19.99 a month. Problem? Small business owners need help with their taxes? We have a solution. The greatest thing that you can do is get a tax bot yourself and start using it, because you own a home-based business, and start to track and record and store your own receipts. Now, the last one we're going to talk about tonight is the M&O Plus card. This was the most fascinating one out of all in the research that I've done. Healthcare is one of the top social and economic problems facing Americans today. These are all articles out of either medical journals or Forbes magazine or something like that. I started to put what each magazine was, and I thought, you know, it would just take too much time. And so the inability to pay for necessary medical care is no longer a problem affecting only the uninsured, but it is increasingly becoming a problem for those with health insurance. Reason? Because of high deductibles. You know, you may look out there and you may say, oh my gosh, I've got this great insurance plan, and it's only costing me like $350 a month. But the deductibles is like $7,000. Okay, so take $7,000 and divide that by 12, and guess what? That's $583 a month of deductibles that you would have to meet to get to where the insurance is paying everything. In 2013, 46% of adults ages 19 to 64, that's 85 million people in the United States alone, did not have health insurance. The percentage of healthcare employers, think about that, the percentage of healthcare employers offering telemedicine is expected to increase by 68% by next year, from 22% in 2014 to 37% in 2015. These are companies out there that do not give health care to their employees, who are looking at telemedicine saying, I'm going to offer this. Now, we sell this for $15. You make $5 a month. What if you walk into a place of business and the person goes, the person that owns the company goes, where have you been? I'm kidding. I have been looking for a great telehealth or telemedicine program. Yours is only $15? Why is yours so cheap? Others that I've been talking about is $49, $69, some $99, and they still have consultation fees with them. And you say, we don't have any consultation fees, and ours is $15, and it will cover up to 5 people in that household. And he says, I'm in, I've got 80 employees. Or I'm in, I've got 120 employees. The number of patients using telehealth services will grow to 7 million in 2018, up from 350,000 in 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, that is potential for you. There is a major problem out there, and you're sitting on top of the solution, but people don't know it because you haven't told them. Get into the MNOplus.com website, go through the packages, watch all those little videos in there. We spent extra money to have RSS feeds fed into that website so that you could educate yourself about those products. Now, that is the last one that we're going to cover tonight. Again, I hope that everyone takes this in the nature that it was meant to be, and that is that corporately, the whole corporate team wants to help you move your business forward. Now we're getting ready to take a swing up to the north. I'll say it's the the north central east up to the Emporia, Richmond, Virginia area on the 13th and 14th. But ladies and gentlemen, MyNetworkOne is getting ready to take off. The question is, are you on board for it? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Are you willing to get the right people on your bus? Start off your questions with, do you know anyone that buys online? Make sure that we're getting the right people. If you do that, you're going to have a lot of fun, and you're going to have a lot of success, and you're going to build a company that's going to be stable and going to be around for a long, long time, because we have the ability to fluctuate with the market if we have the right people. Thank you all for joining. I encourage you to go into your back offices, click on your links, go to your websites. Let me just do it real quick. It will only take a second. If you have not seen the new webinar that we put in, again, you're going to go to your back office. Under your links, it says your websites. Click on that. Go down to where it says live webcast registration page. Get in there and watch this webinar. I know who's watched it and who hasn't. You need to watch it, because that webinar right there, if you will share it with people, you will have people calling you so that you can interview them to see if they're the right person. Again, thank all of you for being here. I encourage you to use this on Tuesday night, use this on Thursday night, use it Wednesday night. Get with your upline, get with your teammates, get with people that you know were not on this call. Share the recording when Kevin puts it out. He'll post it out on Facebook. Go and like our Facebook page. Get active. Start building your business. Everyone have a great evening. Thank you.